Carolyn Lourdes.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you.
Good to have you here. And of course, Carolyn, you're with Safe House, Safe Outlet Inc. Tell us about it, and tell us about you and your story.
Well, I am a product of a child who came from a broken home. My parents divorced when I was 11. Seeking validation led me to this certain young man, and we started talking. After about a year into us just talking, playing, at the neighborhood game room, he started pressuring me to become intimate with him. And in doing so, he threatened to leave me. And I had gotten so, attached to him over that, course of that year. And so I gave in. And I lost my virginity, got pregnant. My parents never knew I was pregnant until 9 months later when I went into labor.
Wow.
Was when my mom discovered that I was even pregnant. And she was frantic. I'm a preacher's daughter, and of course you're raised in, society. People expect you to be a certain way, carry yourself a certain way. But I felt like that foundation was broken because my mom was the one who actually had an extramarital affair, and she came home and told my dad she wanted a divorce. So long story short, we got back together after I had my first son, and it was at the age of 14 when I first experienced my first slap.
Oh, wow.
And that was because I had went out with a few of my girlfriends. We went to the shopping center. And when I got back home, he wanted to know why it took me so long. And I was like, chill, why you tripping? And he was like, he jacked me up and he pushed me against the wall, and he started saying some things that I can't say on the air that belongs to him. You can use your imagination, and it started with that, and I was flattered because I felt like, wow, he really, he's really into me. But
because he slapped you.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
he was showing gesture of jealousy, and I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, when you're 14, you don't know no better. You think that's the common way of life.
He really loves you. He's to the point where he's upset. Okay.
Yeah,
exactly.
that you were out so long. He missed you.
And I had a baby the next year. When I got pregnant with my second son, it really spiraled out of control because, we used to have fight. If I didn't want to have sex, he would bite me and force himself on me and stuff like that. And,
How bad did it get ultimately? How bad did it get?
Oh, it got very bad where cops was coming to the house, every other day. He took, he got into the fast life. By the time I had my second son, he was, living it up, how the streets would say it, and use your imagination.
Right.
He was making fast money. So he exposed me to a lot of, nice things at such a tender age. And so, you get caught up in the glitz and the glamour. Other people envy your life, but they really don't know what you're going through at home.
Right.
And by the time I was 17, it had spiraled out of control, but it was on my second pregnancy. He used to beat me up, kick me, and, do all type of stuff, force me to have sex and stuff like that, and humiliate me. My girlfriends and I will go out. If he spot us in the street, he'll fight them, he'll fight me. Yeah. And so everybody was petrified of him,
And we're going to talk to you about how did you actually form Safe Outlet, rather, and how this came about. Because I know this, we want to get more of your story as well. But I'm sure there are a lot of young girls out there that share your story, Maggie's story. So how do y'all feel about taking some phone calls?
Oh, I would love for us to take some phone calls. Let's open the phone lines.
All right, let's
We'd like to hear from you guys.
All right, the number is 888-550-9105. And I'm sure, Jerry, people got some stuff to say and or ask.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, number is 888-550-9105. Conquering domestic abuse, Hot 105.
Want a better ride? Let's stretch your windshield about 50 feet and add on a ton of horsepower. And let's skip the next drive-through for...
Hot 505, hello.
Yes, the woman that created, is it Safe Outlet. I was in a domestic violent relationship for 7 of 10 years. We were high school sweethearts. We went off to college, and it wasn't until we got to college till he started beating me. But just like her, I felt like he loved me because he beat me, and it wasn't until I had my son, and my son was like a year old, to where he was beating me in front of my child, and my child was screaming, to where I realized I had to get out of there for my life and for my son's life.
I'm so glad to know that you got out of that relationship. What is your name again?
Tamika.
Tamika, I'm very proud of you. It takes a person with a lot of courage and a lot of strength to actually leave such a situation, and I commend you today. And I think you have a lot to say and to, help a lot of other people that's going through this issue as well. So thank you for calling in.
You're welcome, and thank you so much for creating Safe Outlet.
Next, we're going to talk to our Haitian therapist about the effect of the kids in this situation on Hot 105.
I can't fool myself. I don't want nobody else to ever love me. You are my shining star, my guiding.
Hot 105 conquering domestic abuse. Rick Party, Jerry Russian, Big Man Kelly. Our in-studio guest, the Haitian doctor. I don't mess up your name, man. I almost didn't even want to say it. Jameson Messier. There you go. It sounded better together with us. Maggie Blaze, and of course, Carolyn Lotus. Let's go to the phones real quick. 888-550-9105. Hi.
I was calling about the abuse. The guy that was abusing the girl while she was pregnant, the 14-year-old that went through the abuse.
That was Carolyn.
I'm a guy, and I wouldn't have dared put my hands on a pregnant woman, and I commend her for the struggle she went through and the way she came up out of it. She succeeded and didn't let him get the best of her. So I commend her, and I applaud her for it.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
So looking at both of you ladies and what you've gone through, I can't look at you and see what you've been through. You don't, I expect you to look a certain way. I mean, what's changed now?
Well, what's changed is that we didn't let that situation keep us down. What we went through was bad. For me, at the age of 21, dealing with a guy who was 16 years older than me, and for everything that I've been through, being stabbed, the verbal abuse, like I said, things didn't just start with a punch or a slap. A 2-year relationship, had a baby at 21, and now this man stabbed you. Where do you go from here?
Well, speaking of that, what's the number that you have where people can get the help that they need?
Well, if you're in Broward, you can call our office for Yourself Women's Foundation at 954-334-5837, or if you're somewhere that's not in Broward, we have the Florida Domestic Violence Hotline. When you call them, they pretty much just take your zip code and connect you to the nearest organization that can help you out. And that number is 1-800-500-1119. Or if you're not in Broward or Miami or anywhere near here and you need help, you can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline, which is 800-799-7233. And you should always have those numbers with you if you're dealing with a domestic abuse situation.
Okay. I also like to get some comments from the Haitian therapist. Again, from a male perspective, about that, I love you, that's why I do that. And after he answers that, the ladies here, why do you stay? Because these things gone on for years in each case here. Why do the ladies stay? But first, let's get the Haitian therapist on to talk about that.
So you're talking about why?
Yeah, why? I mean, the love thing. I love you. I'm doing this. I love you. Shut up. I love you. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't beat you. And the ladies go for it.
Oh,
They're
like, oh yeah, right. But see, we said this earlier. When you're in a bad state emotionally, right? If you're already depressed or you're feeling, you have some self-esteem concerns, or maybe your self-confidence isn't there. Attention is a good thing, no matter what it looks like. You understand? So you're paying me some attention, but you're hurting me at the same time. But I'll take that.
So these guys, when they're doing this, you think this is a part of their mindset? This is why they're doing it, because they know they're working on them psychologically on their minds?
Listen, abusers, men or women, right? Abusers don't generally abuse confident, self-assured individuals. that would take too much work.
Got you.
That's a great point.
Got you. And the other question, we can discuss it now, we'll come back with, is why do the ladies stay in these kind of relationships?
So,
why?
ladies, when we come back, we want you to answer that question, okay?
Okay.
All right, and don't forget...